Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Senator Crapo. You guys have been great. I want to echo what my good friend Bob Corker said. I think this is a day to be proud of the Senate. We started this 18 months ago, and the evolution started with 3 economists, one from the left, one from the right, one from the center. We vetted it with all kinds of stakeholder groups. We then built out and had 5 Democrats, 5 Republicans. Where did you ever start a bill in this body with 10 members of a committee? The chair and the ranking members said, show us more, and they said, we want to go do our own due diligence. They went through 10 full-fledged hearings. And remarkably, echoing what Senator Tester said, the only group in the hearings that actually raised major concerns about the structure were financial interests from Wall Street. There were others had nits and gnats, but those were the loudest voices in opponent. After that, we went into further negotiations. I want to particularly compliment some of the members who hung in, and there are things that aren't in the manager's amendment that I think were even more progress that could have been made, and I hope it still will be made. And the thing that I know I hear certain folks say, well, you know, we're going to keep at it, and I hope, Lord knows I hope we do. Not next Congress, not next year, not another punt. Because echoing what folks have said, the housing industry is totally nationalized at this point. There is less private capital in front of the taxpayer today than there was in the last crisis. And, you know, those, and I've heard from both sides of the aisle say, well, this is really complicated, not sure we don't want the new structure, don't know what we want. That's a default for the status quo. So if you had the status quo, you still got to have the debate. Are these enterprises public utilities or are they for profit? What's the level of capital? Are we going to have any public policy that protects low-income minority home buyers to get access to the market, which I think is very important? And those who say, well, let's not do it now, how do they answer the concern that African-American and Latino access to the housing credit today is at historic lows? And nothing in the status quo is going to change that, whereas this legislation had substantial improvements. And the idea that we can, again, just keep punting, I would bring to my colleagues' attention. You know, there was a recent stress test done of the GSEs. They said potentially $190 billion of taxpayer exposure again. You think Richard Shelby has opposition today? Wait till the next time the taxpayer is drawn upon. And it's not some future incident. I would commend careful reading to all of my colleagues of Freddie Mac's recent quarterly reports. Looks good at first blush. Then you realize there's virtually no profit at all except for one-time legal settlement fees. Anybody that bases their presumption upon one-time legal settlement fees as a rationale for continuing a business is disconnected from reality. So those who say, well, we can punt and let's wait till next week, next year, next Congress, we come back next quarter and some of these enterprises are coming back to the taxpayer because we didn't take the actions to move forward on a bipartisan, substantive, multi-year transition that would protect the taxpayer, ensure, I believe, much better access, particularly for low-income folks to get access to housing credit and that potential of American dream, to make sure there is that 30-year fixed with it paid for in a rational way, then shame on us. So I, again, thank all of the members' efforts. I hope that, echoing what Senator Corker and others have said, Senator Johans have said, that we don't let this window pass, that we don't do the mañana attitude that so inflicts the Senate hard things. Well, let's wait till after the election or wait until next Congress. This is a time to take this bill, improve it, and get it to the floor. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.